Hi, I'm Andrew Mishlove from Mishlove and Stuckert. We are Wisconsin's only true specialists in defense of accusations of impaired driving. So today I've got with me an official law enforcement blood testing kit. This is the kit that is distributed to hospitals around the state of Wisconsin, clinics, and police officers for the collection of blood from people who are accused of drunken driving. And I'd like to show you a few things in here. First of all, there are the vials themselves. These are called gray top vials. In the blood testing world, these tops on these vials, you can see this one is gray, are color-coded for different kinds of tests. There's dozens and dozens, if not more, different kinds of vials depending on what is being tested, what's the medical purpose of this. Gray top vials like this have some chemicals in the bottom. You can see a pinkish white powder in there at the bottom. It's not too much, but it's in there. It contains sodium fluoride and potassium oxalate. And if you look carefully, you can't really see it, but there's an expiration date on here. The vial is glass, the stopper here is rubber, and rubber deteriorates when in contact with oxygen, with sunlight. These things don't last forever. Eventually the rubber will dry out and this vial will no longer be vacuum sealed and sterile. The other thing is it's temperature dependent. Anytime you have a seal, think of your car when the weather changes, when it gets cold, sometimes people get slow leaks in their tires. And the reason why is that when it gets cold, things change size, they contract. Steel or aluminum of your rim does that at a different rate than the rubber of your tire, and it can develop leaks. Well, the same thing can happen with these vials, and they have a temperature range they need to be stored in. It's 39 to 77 degrees Fahrenheit. So what we will see often is these vials are out of date, they're past their expiration date, they haven't been stored properly, they weren't refrigerated after use. There's all sorts of things that can go wrong before the blood even makes it to the laboratory. Here is the swab that a phlebotomist, the person who draws your blood, is supposed to use to cleanse your arm. This swab, of course, doesn't have any alcohol in it. Now, in a hospital setting, most of the time, the phlebotomist will swab your arm with alcohol because it's the best antiseptic. It dries really quickly, but that can't be used when you're testing for alcohol. So they use this water-based stuff, betadine or providine. The problem is this stuff, unlike alcohol, does not dry quickly. This takes a minute and a half or 2 minutes to dry, not just a few seconds like the alcohol swab. And very often, the phlebotomist, not understanding that, will simply wipe your arm, wait a few seconds, and stick the needle in. Your arm has not been properly sterilized. A contaminated sample can yield a false test result. So these are just a few things you need to know if you're accused of drunken driving, and the stakes are high. If your hopes and dreams, if your career, your family, the things you've worked for are at risk, call the experts, the people who understand the science of drunken driving defense.